Lunch breakers and takers, do us a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. All right, B. So tonight, the Ravens get back on track against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. We saw a couple of major upsets the last couple of days of the Giants beating the Seahawks and Washington beating Pittsburgh. I hope it doesn't continue into Tuesday.
Yeah, I hope so too, because that will be pretty much it for us this season. The Browns are 9-3 now, right?
Yes.
So, we can't afford to give up any more room to them. My thing is, if all goes well, if we can go on this 5-game win streak, we can finish out 11-5, and I think things will take care of themselves, right? That means we will have beaten the Browns once. I think they'll probably drop another game, and if that's the case, we jump them. And if not, that's fine too. I still think at worst we'll finish a 7th seed, but we have to get on track. We have to start winning these games and putting together a competent offense on the field.
Yeah, Baltimore can't afford to drop any more games. They're 2 games behind Cleveland, a game behind Miami, a game behind Tennessee and the Colts, and a half game right now behind the Raiders. Mm-hmm. So and they play Cleveland next week, which is their toughest remaining game. So they really can't afford a letdown against a dumpster fire like the Cowboys.
No. And, to be honest, the Cowboys, I don't think they're really trying to win this either.
Well, look, you say that, but they're still in it.
They are. They're still in it. That's true.
The leader of that division is 5-7. And at 5-7, they're only, that's a game out of wild card in the NFC also. So.
That is true. And yeah, look, there's still something for the Cowboys to play for right now. I just think the NFC East, whoever comes out the East, I guess there's bragging rights there. You win a division and make the playoffs, but
they might get 2 teams the way it's going. They might.
2 teams.
Yeah, the Giants and Washington are both 5-7. That's a game back of the Cardinals for a wild card. So one of them's winning the division, and then who knows what happens over the next few weeks. If they keep playing, the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks, they could sneak in as a wild card. One of them.
And that'd be a turnaround, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a turnaround. A division where we thought one team is gonna make the playoffs with a 6-10 record turns around and gets 2 teams into the playoffs. Wow.
Yeah. Baltimore and Dallas. Baltimore has most of their roster. They're still going to be without Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
which is a big loss for them, just because they don't have very many reliable pass catchers.
Right.
But Tyree Phillips is back already. Their O-line is in relatively good shape considering who they have left, who's not injured. Yeah. They'll get Dobbins and Ingram back to go along with Gus Edwards, and everybody's expecting Dez to go out there and have a revenge game.
Yeah, I don't expect anything from Dez Bryant. Right. I don't want to sound like we're being all down on Dez and just being the negative guys in the Ravens community. But the fact is, man, I just don't expect anything. Now, if he gives it, that's great. And yeah, he should get the opportunity for sure. This is a game where you're not playing a good defense at all. So why not try to get him involved and try to see if he can get into some rhythm with Lamar Jackson? For sure. Get him the ball and, get him a few reps, give him a few targets and see if he can do something with it. Hollywood Brown had a good touchdown catch last week. And I'm hoping they build off of that. I hope they get him more involved. And, I think 2 weeks in a row, him scoring touchdowns, especially if it's like a deep pass or something like that, or he has a big play, will really get his confidence up and Lamar's confidence in him up. So we're going to need that moving forward.
Yeah. I don't think that they should try to force anything to Dez. I don't think they should try to get him involved because Baltimore is not in a place right now where no matter who they're playing, they're not in a place where they can.
I don't think you need to force it to him, but you can drop some plays for him, right? Like, and going back to, going back to the Titans game where they're just leaving him wide open. I don't see anything wrong with throwing a short pass to him and seeing if he can do something with it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if they're ignoring him the way Tennessee did, yeah, okay, throw him the ball a couple times.
Yeah.
But if I'm Baltimore, I would not be looking to get him involved. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be calling plays for Des Bryant because Baltimore's not in a place where they can take opponents lightly like that, where they can just say, "Hey, we're gonna try and get this guy involved just because and see if we can get him going."
Right.
Like they're not playing well enough to go away from their strengths.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they need to be worried first and foremost about winning this game. And if Dez is involved and he gets some catches and some production, great. If he's not, then I mean, oh well.
But having said that, if we're being real about it, they haven't gotten any of these guys going. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're all pretty much starting at the same level, right? Like none of these guys have really got going yet. So it's not like we're taking away from somebody else to get Des Bryant going. Devin Duvernay hasn't really got going. Miles Boykin has completely disappeared at this point.
Yeah.
Right. James Prochet is just, he's a special teamer. So saying get Des Bryant some targets isn't really taken away from the offense. Like the offense is a mess.
Well, it's not necessarily taking away, but if we're looking to get somebody going, I'm going Hollywood and then I'm going Duvernay. And then after that, man, just run the ball. That's what you know you can do well.
Yeah.
Go do it and win this game that you absolutely have to have. You don't want a repeat of what happened when you play the Patriots.
Yeah.
Where that's a team where everybody's like, oh yeah, they can handle the Patriots, no problem, blah, blah, blah. And then they go out there and get beat.
Yeah. So I'm picking the Ravens to win. And if they don't, I mean, that's it. Right. Yeah. That's it. And I won't even be upset. Right. We're not going to come on here and give you this doom and gloom video. We're actually going to have a series of other videos about coaching changes. I mean, that's coming anyway. So be on the lookout for that. But look, it is what it is. Either you're good enough to be a playoff team or you're not. So, I'm not one of those people that are like, oh man, like, I hope we can do this. I hope we can do that. It's not, I hope. I feel like we're good enough to do it. If we don't do it, then we don't do it. We don't make the playoffs, and obvious changes need to be made. I think those changes are obvious now. Me and B have been consistent with this from the offseason throughout the season, right? And it starts with coaching. So coaching and working your way down to players on offense. And maybe we can skate by this year and make the playoffs, and we'll see what happens then. But so far it's caught up to us, right? What we've seen is just not investing in the offense has caught up to us. I understand last week we had a issue with players getting sick, and they had we had half our roster gone, so we lost that game. Okay, but before then we dropped a few games that we should not have dropped. We should not have lost to the Titans, right? We should not have lost to the Patriots,
right?
It's the lack of investing in offense catching up to us. Hopefully, we can turn things around enough to win these last few games of the season. And this is usually when you see John Harbaugh's best work put in front of him, because there's a little more pressure on him, right? What he doesn't want to do is miss the playoffs, and people are talking about, is his job in jeopardy, or is he going to be in a hot seat? So you'll get the best of Harbaugh. You'll see Harbaugh get those guys ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I'm picking Baltimore as well. I think it's going to be a pretty dominant win, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I've said it before. I don't like coaches who turn it up when they're kind of on the hot seat, or people start talking about their job security. As far as I'm concerned, there should be 2 Harbaughs available this offseason for employment. I think Baltimore needs to move on and get an entire new coaching staff in there. But at the bare minimum, it has to be Greg Roman. That's the absolute least that they have to do this offseason. But as far as tonight, I think they go out there and I think the defense completely shuts down Dallas. And I think Lamar and Dobbins and even Hollywood, make enough plays where it's a pretty comfortable win for Baltimore.
Yeah, no, I agree. And moving forward, I don't expect the defense to give up a whole lot of points for any of these teams that we play. So it really is going to come down to the offense, and are they going to do enough? I think the defense is they're healthy now, and they're locked in, and any more, mental mistakes or hiccups here and there. Just, hey, we didn't have a good game this week. I think that's all gone now. Like that's all behind them. They understand what they need to do moving forward, and you're gonna see the best of this defense. It's a lot of pressure on the offense to show up. Luckily, Lamar Jackson is back and he's healthy, and he's great enough to carry that offense and do what that team needs to do to get to the playoffs.